afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube live video stream. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad that you're all here. A lot of people in the room. Glad to see that. Trade Shark, I'm glad you're here with your people here. Jen, I see you're here. She's one of our social media specialists. She will be in the background. I also have Joey with me, my right-hand man. Say hi, Joey.
Hi.
And he's the guy that works in the background to make sure everything is good to go. Once again, my name is Glenn Tompkins. I'm a senior instructor here at VectorVest. I am going to be the host for the next hour or so in regards to Trending Thursday. Glad that you've taken out your time out of your day to be here. And as always, we're going to get rock and rolling pretty quickly because there's a lot of things going on in the market that we need to address that can affect how we invest in the market and to make sure if the things that we're doing are keeping us profitable or not keeping us profitable. And if we're not profitable, let's change that around and become profitable. There's still a lot of buying opportunities. Talking about what's going on in the market, a lot of things happen. There's a stimulus package that's out there to help the American people of $2 trillion. The Senate has now looked like that they passed it, put it through. Now it's up to the House to vote on it. It already went through once. The House said no. Now the Senate had to go through, we put it back together again. Now it's up to the House. I've gotten to see a lot of the stuff that's in there, and I'm gonna keep my views out of it. But man, oh man, there's a lot of money in there in my estimation, both sides are pushing agendas. And as far as politics goes, that's all that I'm going to say about that. My biggest thing is let's get the money out to the people who need it. There's a lot of people who've been laid off, who've been affected by the COVID-19. Let's help the American people. That's what our government is there to do. Let's get something through so that our people are taken care of. And I'm sure that besides me, there's many of you who know people directly or indirectly have been affected. This is the time that no matter what side of any party, any kind of aisle, all of that stuff needs to go to the wayside right now. This is a time that as Americans, we help each other. But another thing, don't panic. All right, as investors in the market, this is not the time to panic. This is the time to keep a calm, level playing head so that you know what's going on, and that's important. So, looking at the market timing graph, or looking at the market timing, this is the home page of the VectorVest software. It gives you a lot of information that you can glean useful data from to know what to do in the current market's condition. As we can see, all of the major indices are up. So someone made a comment about the jobs report. The jobs report was one of the worst reports that have been reported. All right, we were looking at about 1.5 million people going out to look for work. We got to a number of 3.28 million. That was double the number of what we were saying that we were looking for. So the jobs number was huge. A lot of people trying to claim unemployment, as well they should if they've been laid off or furloughed. So as you look at that, normally when the jobs number is that bad, it affects the market in an adverse way. But today, this tells me a little bit more about what's in the mindset of the people who are in the market. It's not just about the jobs. It is more so about the stimulus and about the stimulus getting through. The Dow is up today, 940 points. We're up at almost 5%, 4.5% on the Dow. We're up 3.68% on the NASDAQ. The S&P is up over 4%, and our VectorVest composite is closing up right now over 3%. A big day in the market, even after a bad jobs number, which really starts to press home that people are more interested in getting out the money to the people who need it, more so than the amount of people on the lines looking for a job. Just keep that in mind. As we look at our daily market timing gauge, we are one tick into the green, and that's because our market timing gauge tracks the top row of lights found on the color guard down below it. The color guard looks at three of our market timing indicators. Price, which is the price movement of the VectorVest composite. RT, which looks at the short-term price trend of the market. This is an indicator that is cast on a scale between 0 and 2. Above 1, the market's in an uptrend. Below 1, The market's in a downtrend. Notice that we are getting better as far as RT is concerned. The momentum in the market is starting to pick up, but it is still below the value of 1. I want you to understand that no matter what, even though we have a good day today, and it looks like we've had a good 3 days, we ain't out of the woods yet. Anything can happen. Any bad news can turn this market around in a heartbeat. But we, as tracking the trend of the market, will keep you on the right side of the trend. The BSR, or buy to sell ratio, which looks at the overall health of the market. And again, if you have now been looking at this for the first time, understanding what you see here in this homepage, this is the kind of information that as a VectorVest subscriber, you get every single day. So if you're not a subscriber, something to consider. All right, and you look at our color guard, a lot of yellow lights in the color guard. This is more of our 6-day snapshot of the market. More yellows. Use this like a traffic light. More yellow than anything. This is a time to be cautious. So once we start to get a ton of green, it's okay to go. Just like when you get to a green light, it's time to go. When you get to a lot of green in this color guard, it's okay to start buying stocks long. Now, let me walk you through the steps of getting into the market as of where we are right now. We have something called the primary wave, which is the first 2 letters in this trend column you see right here. The primary wave looks at the week-over-week movement of this VectorVest composite. The VectorVest composite is an indexed arithmetic average of all of the stocks that we track. So all of these 8,197 stocks are tracked in one ticker symbol known as the VVC. We track its trend on a week-over-week and day-over-day basis. Why do we have a green light today? Because the price of the composite rose on a week-over-week basis from $35.92 to $38.42, and on a day-over-day basis from $37.30 to $38.42. So, 3 ways to start to get into the market. 1, primary wave. Actually, 1, a big up day in the market in and of itself, which happened 2 days ago. Coming off of a possible bottom in the market, we had a big up day. For those of you who were super aggressive, that was your day to start dipping your toe in the water. 2, we had a primary wave change finally to an up yesterday on March 25. If you're a little bit more aggressive or a little less aggressive than just that big up day, yesterday was your time to go. 3, if you're a little bit more prudent, look at that primary wave up and the green light in the color guard pricing column. That's 3. I'm going to give you one other step. We have a market timing signal called the RT kicker. We have 2. 1, the RT kicker, and number 2, the DEW timing signal. Either one of those pop off and give you an up call, that is more confirmation. So when we say we time the market or we follow the trend of the market, right now, possibly the bottom could have been 3 days ago, possibly, and getting you in 1 day off the bottom, 2 days off the bottom, or possibly 3 days off the bottom is unheard of. When we can do that kind of timing and do that consistently over and over again. So this was more so for the benefit of the new people that may be in the room, to give them an understanding on how the power of the VectorVest software can get you into the market at the right time and get you out of the market prior to all of this coronavirus stuff going on. If you get the software, go look at our nightly newsletter called the VectorVest Views. We have walked you through time and time on when we got our customers out of the market at the right time. So why does the market look this way? Well, let's go out to the first story. First story I want to talk about. The Fed unveils major expansion of market intervention. The Fed is big time into what's happening in the market right now. Interest rates have dropped down to from 0 to 0.25. All right, so 0.25%. We dropped the interest rates. Why? To help to stymie off the effects of the COVID-19 and boost the economy. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's whatever it takes moment arrived on this past Monday. The central bank signaled it would do practically anything. Folks, I've not heard this kind of talk in the market from the Fed since the 2008 housing bubbles. Extending loans to big and small businesses, purchasing unlimited amounts of government debt to help an American economy in a race against time. So when you talk about what the Fed is doing to help to bolster the economy, they have pulled out all of the stops to try to make sure this economy and the market don't go into a free fall. Now, here we go. A deal was reached on a $2 trillion coronavirus stimulus bill, the largest by far in U.S. history. This is just more addition to the fact that the Fed is pulling out all the stops to do what it can to stave off a huge market decline. After haggling for days over the final details, Senate Democrats and White House agree Wednesday, which was yesterday, to a nearly $2 trillion stimulus package to combat the economic fallout of the coronavirus outbreak, including direct payments to most Americans and a $500 billion fund to shore up struggling companies. The stimulus bill, by far the largest ever proposed. So this again backs up the story that the Fed is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure the market does not go into free fall. So with that, let's go back into the software and let's go to our market timing graph. Again, for the people who are brand new, what we're looking at, again, we time the market, but when we time the market, we don't predict which way the market is going to go. We follow the trend of the market. Now, as I talk to you, as possibly as a means to get back in here, this is where we got our customers out prior to all of this big move to the downside, this precipitous fall in the market. And again, if you go back into our nightly newsletter, we talked about how we got our customers out prior to this and how we are going to work to get you in at the right time. I'm going to put this on a 3-month graph. Here's all the coronavirus fallout, down, 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 down. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, here is a potential bottom to the market. How do you know when the market bottoms? Simple answer. When the market stops going down and it starts going up. You will never see a bottom until the bottom actually happens. But here we are right now, 3 days off of the bottom. A couple of things happen. I'm going to put on that call for the primary wave. There it is. 2 days off of the bottom, the primary wave went up. That is the week-over-week movement of the VectorVest composite. Today, let's go change this to the green light buyer. We got a green light. It's not going to show up yet today until the color stays as green as the market closes. But folks, unheard of to actually be able to time to get you in to the market, possibly 3 days off of a possible bottom. And now if you decide to get in, manage your trades with stops. Because again, because this is a pandemic, any bad news can come out and we can reverse and start going back down at any point in time. So what you're looking for days like today when the market is moving up. If you dip your toe into the water, you want to make sure you have follow through the next day. Make sure you have stops in place to know when you're going to get out of the trade as you get into the trade, because again, anything can happen. But since all of this moved to the downside, this is the first time 3 days in a row the market is up. That is huge, and this is a good time. Again, big update 2 days ago. As you're a more aggressive trader, big update, you could have gotten into the market. If you're a little less aggressive, we got the primary wave up yesterday, and now if you still need more confirmation, we got a green light in the color guard pricing column. So before anybody says, well, man, your stuff is all hindsight, this is now sight. This is happening, and this is the guidance that we're giving as the market is moving right now. Yes, you can go back in time after all of this is done and say, holy smokes, VectorVest did a good job, but they just put that out there. You're watching it now. You're watching it now. So that is the market timing graph. I'm going to minimize that for a second. Actually, let me go to my watch list of stocks. The two stocks that I look for to track the market are the spiders, for those of you who are not VectorVest subscribers, and our indicator, the VVC, or the VectorVest composite that we use to time the market. Remember, this indicator, the VVC, looks at the movement of over 8,000 stocks. Let's go look at both of these on a graph. Now that they're highlighted, we'll right-click. We're going to view a stock graph. Let's maximize this graph. Let's bring this into the last 3 months. Here's the spiders. Now, we will use moving averages on every stock that we look at. The two moving averages numbers we use are a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. Now the question gets asked, why do you use that? Because it works. Whether I'm trading a stock or I'm long-term or swing trading a stock, it works. And it's a good opportunity, even on the spiders, on the S&P 500, when the 3 went below the 8. Look at that as a great opportunity to get out. Even though it reversed and went back up, how about the 3 and the 8 never reversed? Keep you out, keep you out, keep you out. And folks, that's on the S&P 500, not even on an individual stock. That's on the S&P 500. I do like today that today is the third day coming off of this possible bottom. The 3 and the 8 have gone positive. Let's go look at the VectorVest composite. Same kind of scenario. The 3 and the 8 went bearish here. Look at that, even on the rebound here, the 3 and the 8 stayed bearish. And with today's activity, both the VectorVest composite and the S&P 500 on a graph have the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages both crossing to the upside. Possible way to go. If you do pull the trigger right now, make sure you're buying into a rising stock, number one, and number two, make sure you have the right stops in place. Depending on how you invest will determine what stops you will use. There is no rule etched in, no rule of thumb or etched in. Well, there is a definite rule of thumb. Whatever stocks you get into, do not lose more than half of what you made. That's the huge rule of thumb. All right. With that being said, that is my first story in regards to the market. Jobs numbers, horrible. But the market did not really respond to that. It went up. Why? Because the second story, looking at the stimulus, the $2 trillion stimulus, that's where the interest is, and that's where the people are looking. And the closer we get to that, I think that is going to be the catalyst that gets us from where we are right now to an even higher move. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.